Part 2.
Come the July race, the Lotus still isn't back together.
When the rear mount failed, it tweaked the transmission in relation to the engine. So we pulled it, try to make sure everything was okay. There were some minor issues, so we put it back in, only to find out it still wasn't right.
3 times. I pulled the transmission 3 times. I think if I had to, I could probably do it on the side of the road, while wearing high heels, and carrying a baby on my back.
With the Lotus out of commission, we decided to run our new car. It's a Formula 500 car. We're just going to run it at the autocross as kind of a shakedown.
I'm really excited to get to drive an open-wheel car. It's just always been a dream of mine.
Not all dreams end so pleasantly. Halfway through the first lap, and before our cameras were even rolling, disaster strikes.
Well, we started losing power, and when we got back to the car apart, we found that the back suspension had just collapsed. I guess I'm too much of a driver.
I'll be right back.
The team manager is concerned. He confers with his driver to discuss the team's options.
Well, I'm not happy if that's what you're getting at. The past 2 races, he's running 2 cars. Needs new rocker arms in the back. We still don't know what's wrong with the engine.
Well, alright, it's going to take some time. What's the priority?
The Lotus needs to be running by Labor Day. We still have a shot at the championship, but we can't afford to miss any more races. I don't care how well it's running, you just need to be there, in the points.
Oh my gosh! It's my favorite term!
Countless hours in the next few weeks bring the team back from the brink. Not only is the Lotus running, but so is the Formula 500.
It's been a really good day, for all of us. And we needed this, something to show us how good it can be when things actually work.
As the race season rages on, the competition only gets stiffer. Common at these events are cars sporting 2 or 3 times the amount of horsepower as the Westhavenbrook car. Some come built that way from the factory, others have been tried and tuned over seasons of racing. Speed is not something that is in short supply. What Ben and the Europa give up in pace to the competition, they make up for in class division.
We don't run in the same class as a lot of the heavy hitters. It's good to know their speed, but we're racing to a completely different set of rules.
How many? None as far as I know. We're the only ones to step up to the Lotus Classic Open class with the Golden Gate Club.
You mean you have no direct competition?
Right.
So you'll win by just showing up?
Well, fingers crossed.
The race complete and the Lotus done for the day, the team gathers to make some crucial decisions for their strategy for the rest of the season.
Well, we already know that reliability is our Achilles heel.
It's a bit of an understatement.
We're ahead in the points, and there's only 2 races left. That's not enough for anybody else to come in and beat us on points.
So what you're saying is, I've already secured the championship.
Not exactly. Since nobody else has contested the class, I'm afraid that they're not going to consider it a legitimate win.
So what's the plan?
We skip the next race. It's just another opportunity for the car to break, and we can't afford any more major repairs this year. So we just pour everything we have into getting to the next race, and then they can't ignore us.
So they'll give us an award out of pity.
Exactly.
There's no shame in winning by default, only losing by default.
What?
Let's get the car back home safe and sound, and nobody touch it till October.
No time to explain. Get in the llama.
Now there is nothing more to do but sit and wait.
It was around that time I started to realize that no one was calling me. I had come to the conclusion that I'd lost my job as mechanic. I was pretty sad. I'd been working on some designs to spruce up the look of the car, especially in its rear. But I guess they decided that they didn't need me anymore.
Well, this is Ben's last year as a driver, so I guess I could be supportive of him to win the class. I mean, I'm his wife.
Well, I know it's not a big deal to win by default. I mean, thinking back to this time last year, I never thought we'd win anything with this funny little car. And now our last race is just a few days away.
End of part 2.